Your boy's back with the reviews on the I Know channel after like 2 months, maybe almost 2 months, and I am now watching Curse of Chucky. Been so excited to watch this. Definitely one of my favourites in the franchise. It's on Netflix, luckily, and I just can't wait to watch this. I haven't seen this film in over a year. I mean, to a lot of people that doesn't sound like too long, but to me it's a lot. And there's Nika, one of my favourite protagonists in the Chucky franchise. Oh yes, good to be back. Today is a very exciting day because after quite a while, I must say, the I Know channel is starting back up. We're going to be uploading much more than we have been recently. And the first video of the year, by the way, Happy New Year, hopefully 2021 will be better, fingers crossed, will be the Curse of Chucky review. Now, this one is going to be mint because of Chucky. Definitely one of the highlights of the Chucky franchise because, let's be real, it is quite an amazing film. Before I get into this review, it is a positive review, obviously. You know, it's not a review without a few negatives, but, you know, doesn't all movie have negatives? Okay, we're going to get into this now. Hope you're excited. We're back. One thing to really appreciate about this film is that, really, it saved the franchise. If this movie turned out bad, then it will probably be the last movie of the franchise if they ended up doing two pretty bad movies in a row. Because let's be real, Seed of Chucky was bad. I think I was a little bit too nice in my review. I don't think I should have stressed it enough. It's a bad film. It's one of the worst horror films ever made. I mean, I won't even call it a horror film. It's not terrible, but it's really bad, and it's quite pretty much an embarrassment to the Chucky franchise. So basically, this went back to the horror roots of the first three movies, even though the third one had a bit too much one-liners. But mainly, the first two movies, it brought that horror, but like made it way, way better by giving it a sort of gothic feel to it, which I actually love when they do this in films. And for a Chucky film, it really does suit, and it's great when you watch it. You just have a fun time every second you watch it. The setting, the location where this movie took place is great. Like, look at this house right here. When you look at it, you may think, oh, it's just a cliche, stereotypical horror house. Oh, what's gonna happen? Some cliche stuff. But no, they don't. They actually, use it really well. It's really great setting. It's perfect for the tone that this movie was going for, and the cool thing is when Chucky's killing off people, the house is so big that, he could literally be anywhere in the house, and even when people are being killed, we don't even know exactly where the rooms are, so we don't know where Chucky is, or the dead bodies, so, man, that's just a great concept for this franchise, such a small doll, well, he's quite big for a doll, but he's small, you know what I mean, in such a big place, and everyone's getting axed off one by one. That's tension right there. Now, the weird thing about this movie is I have no clue why it's called Curse of Chucky. Exactly. I mean, all the other titles make sense. Child's Play 1, Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3. Wait, what? Child's Play 2, Child's Play 3. And then Bride of Chucky, because, he gets a bride. And, Seed of Chucky is because, he gets a child, and Cult of Chucky because, he starts a cult by, making multiple Chuckies. But curse, doesn't curse mean, you get, a spell on you and then it's there for, permanently? I mean, nothing like that happens in Curse of Chucky. The only possible reason I can think of it being called Curse of Chucky is just sort of a joke, they're trying to make it seem like curse as, someone's put a curse on him, but they just sort of made a joke because, to be honest, there's a lot of people, swearing in this film, and a lot of people saying, don't curse, or stop cursing, which obviously means swearing, so, who knows. Okay, One thing that I hear people complain about quite a bit with this film is the way the doll looks. Like, for some people, this is like their least favourite looking doll. I mean, I don't agree that it's that bad, but I can see what they mean. Like, it looks like a girl, and Chucky, isn't a girl. And, honestly, it kind of looks like a hamster. His face looks like a hamster, and it does look kind of weird, I guess. Or maybe I'm just completely wrong, and it's just the fact that his hair is straight, and his hair is quite known for being a mess. Who knows? I don't actually mind this doll. I think it's pretty creepy looking, and that I think it's a nice doll to put in the movie. Because like good guy dolls haven't been a thing for a while now, and they're just getting started back up. They need to do something different. So there is a good reason, but I do agree the face does look quite weird, and it looks a bit too happy. Overall, though, I don't mind this doll. In some shots, it might look a little bit weird, but honestly, it's pretty good. Alright, one of the best scenes of this movie, and one of the most intense scenes of this movie, and one of the most clever scenes and well done scenes of the movie is the dinner scene. Now, if you haven't seen this movie, basically, Nika and her niece are making chili together, even though her niece is the guest, so why is she helping? That's just, disrespect to the guest. But anyway, they chop tomatoes very weirdly, and they make the chili, and honestly, it's looking quite fine. But when they leave the room, you can see Chucky's arm pouring rat poison into one of the bowls of chili, and I really like the shots of Chucky's arm, when he's pouring it in, and when his eyes move around, just them subtle things that show that he's alive in like the first half of the movie. Just bring back what, the first two Chucky films were like. Not so much the second one, but more the first one, where, you only got to see, like, little snippets of Chucky being alive. And, he doesn't, in this movie, you don't actually hear Brad Dourif's voice until, like, 43 minutes into the film. Which, that's just, when that happens, you just know we're back in the old style of Chucky, because
a true classic never goes out of style.
Oh, and they trick us a few times. I see what you're doing there, with who we think is gonna die from the poisonous chili. Like, we do a bit where the little girl's pulling her face and she's being like, it tastes funny, but it turns out it's just a child, being all picky and that. And then the little girl's dad was like, oh my god, this is so good. Like, he was doing that whole trick. And then it went, the father, the priest that was there with them, because, for support for Nika after her mum died. Spoiler alert. It turns out it was him, because he started sweating and he started driving home, and he got killed. And let me tell you, the kills in this movie, oh, they're beautiful. I can't make this review without mentioning the protagonist, one of the best horror protagonists of all time. Honestly, I can't really say that because I haven't seen all the horror films, but from what I've seen, she's one of the best and smartest. She's my second favourite in the Chucky movies. Obviously, Andy's first. But, like, she's not that cliche stupid. She doesn't do them cliche stupid things that people do in horror films where, they just do something that obviously no one would ever do in real life if they were in that situation. Like, I mean, Nika is clever. She's definitely the smartest protagonist in these films, because she, isn't like the stereotypical, Chucky character that doesn't think Chucky's real until she sees it for herself. No, she connects the dots, you know. She sees how dodgy it is that he keeps ending up in other places, and the fact that she was with the doll in the lift, and she just so happened to get, you know, a stab wound in her leg. Why does she not know that she has a stab wound till later? Oh, that's because she can't feel her legs because she's disabled and in a wheelchair. Yes, they are able to bring a disabled character who can't walk in a Chucky film and make her, you know, be able to stand on her own. Like, that's just clever, you know, because people are always like, when people talk about Chucky, some people are like, oh, it's so stupid, like, he's just a little doll, he's like really small, why don't you just kick him, knock him over, it's easy. But they find a way to make it, you know, seem realistic to, like, you know, the fact that Chucky will be able to harm people and that she's vulnerable but can still put up a fight. You know, she's just one of the best protagonists. Like, the way that, you know, she finds it weird how he keeps moving everywhere and all of these kills keep happening, you know, and there's, like, things like missing out of place and that. And, you know, I like how they keep the continuity in this film. Like, they could have easily rebooted it after Seed of Chucky, and I'm quite surprised they didn't. I mean, it's actually amazing that they, you know, came back from that, because, like, it was kind of a soft reboot. Like, it's sort of, I guess, what Halloween 2018 was, where they sort of trick you into thinking it's a reboot, but it ends up having the same continuity. Because, like, for the first while of the film, you're thinking, like, this could be a reboot, because there's no callbacks or anything. But later, you know, Nika does her research on the Chucky doll, because she thinks it's dodgy, you know, because she, you know, she called the company, and it was from an evidence depository. And, you know, if she finds Charles Lee Ray on there, and, you know, she finds Andy Barclay with the doll, and I'm so glad Andy Barclay got at least a mention, not only once, but quite a few times. Andy appeared in the credit scene. We'll talk about that later. But it's just great to show that they're showing continuity. And, you know, it's really, you know, I love it. And you can just tell that, you know, the people making this film really didn't want you to like any of the family members, apart from Nika and, you know, the Andy Barclay little child who has the doll replacement. They really didn't want you to like anyone besides them, you know. Nika and the niece, they're great, but everyone else you don't like, you know. The nanny and Barbara are having an affair, and the dad fancies, you know, the nanny, obviously, and if he could do her, it's obvious that he would. I mean, I think that Barbara is the worst, is the most unlikable character in this film. She's just pretty much mean to everyone. She's even mean to Nika and everything, and she's just really rude to everyone, and she even like messes with the doll, and when Nika tells her to put it down, she doesn't, so she got what was pretty much coming to her. And, you know, the storyline between this family actually weren't half bad. It was actually, you know, kind of interesting. I mean, it could have been more interesting, but it definitely weren't bad. And, you know, they all ended up dead, and we weren't really sad about it because they were unlikable anyway, and they were some pretty cool kills. Honestly, not joking, for the first half of this film, they were treating it like a remake, or almost, and then and the last half, it's like they just remembered, oh wait, this is in the Chucky franchise, we need to make sure people realize that this is in the main franchise, so they go all out with, you know, connecting this to the first Child's Play film, and this is why this film really matters in the franchise. It explains quite a bit. We get a lot of backstory on Charles Lee Ray. Not really himself, but, you know, like, not really his character, but, like, what he was doing before the night he got gunned down. So pretty much, basically, Nika's mum, her husband died, and then Charles Lee Ray kidnapped her, which I weren't a fan of. Chucky's not really one for kidnapping, and he wanted to be with her, and, you know, it turns out, you know, she called the police on him, and then, you know, she stabbed her in the belly while she was pregnant with Nika. So that's how Nika got disabled. So, you know, Nika, you know, it's Charles Lee Ray's fault that Nika's life is pretty bad because she can't walk. And even though Brad Dourif obviously looks quite older, this is pretty cool indeed. It adds some lore to, what's been going on. Well, not really lore, but you know what I mean. But the only problem I have with this is when it shows that, straight after this, it's the first scene in the first Child's Play when he's running away from police getting gunned down. My only problem with this is that Chucky Charlie Ray was literally with, Nika's mum, just with flowers and all of that. And that's all nice, but in the first Child's Play film, Eddie Caputo was waiting with a getaway car, and these two films are connected, so what was he getting away from exactly? That's the only thing I don't like about this backstory thing, and that's one of the negatives of the film, and now we're going to get into some more of them. Don't let this, bother you or take you away from wanting to watch the film. This is still a great film and I recommend it, but obviously this isn't a perfect film, so there's going to be some negatives. If I was to tell you that this was a still from the actual film, you'd probably think I was lying because it looks straight from YouTube or something. But no, this is literally from the film. There are parts where they use CGI for the doll, Chucky, and honestly, it really does not look great at all. It looks quite bad. It looks very animated. Clearly, it looks quite animated, and that's probably because when Chucky was going down the stairs, that would be quite hard to do with animatronics. He'd probably fall over every time. The scene that is CGI and still is creepy, but the CGI, it really doesn't look good, but you can't blame him too much because this is on a straight to DVD budget, because after Seed of Chucky they didn't want to release them in cinemas anymore because you probably won't think many people want to see it. But honestly, yeah, CGI and these scenes may be bad, but he's not CGI too much in the film, honestly. It's just for a few bits. I don't mind seeing Chucky with scars. In fact, it actually looks really cool in this film than it did in Seed or Bride. It looks really super real and that, so it was quite cool to see. But the thing is, it was really unnecessary and it just created a whole lot of confusion to me. I only just realised this now watching it, because when I watched it back ages ago, I just assumed, oh, it's one of the dolls that he had in Bride and Seed. But one thing that really confuses me, if it is the one from Seed, then why is it that no one decided to check out the doll because it had a heart in it and it was fully human or something, it was proper human, there was blood everywhere when his body parts got chopped off. And if so, did Jennifer Tilly take it, Tiffany take it and just put his soul back into the doll? Because if he can just put his soul back into dolls already, does that mean when he's dying he might as well just hold his own chest or something and do the chant or something? It doesn't really make sense. This is why Don Mancini really needs to explain how voodoo works, because it really don't make sense. It doesn't bother me from the film too much. I just accept the fact that there's scars. I mean, who knows, they might have just sort of custom made a good guy doll, got a good guy doll, add the stitches themselves, maybe. The reason they did this could be Chucky wanted to keep the scars because it made him look scary, and it was a sign of all the crap he's been through. I mean, he's died so many times, and he just wanted that to be a memory of how much he's been through, ever since Child's Play 3 when he got shredded, and he's had these scars for quite a while, and he just wanted to keep the look, so it will always stay with him that he's been killed this many times. Another thing is that they are really not doing too well with the voodoo lore in this film. It's just sort of creating so much confusion. Why? Please tell me why he showed literally no signs of being human. Literally every other film he was bleeding and everything, but on the final act of this film, so the doll's been alive for quite a while, his head got knocked off by Nika and there was not even one single drop of blood. But in Cult of Chucky there'll be a Chucky that's been alive for like an hour, an hour at most maybe, and it's full of guts and blood. So it really doesn't make sense at all. But you know, I guess Don Mancini will be Don Mancini and just do random things with voodoo and never explain it, I guess. Maybe in a TV series, we'll get there eventually, hopefully. Okay, this video is long enough. I'm actually editing this after I finish the video, and it's 20 minutes. Oh my god, they are always unexpectedly long. So I need to say this quickly. Credit scene gives me chills every time I watch it. It leads into cult very well. It's a nice little teaser to show, hey, we're not done yet. There's gonna be more, because literally, Chucky doll, you know, delivers itself to Andy's house, and this is a different doll to the one that possessed Alice. And yeah, Alice gets possessed in one scene by a Chucky doll. And yeah, and that one has scars, and so does this one. So it still bothers me that there's more than one with scars, and that just makes it even more confusing. But apart from that, this is great. He literally delivers himself to Andy's house. Andy's talking to Karen, his mum, and he name drops Mike Norris, so he's still around. And it's great. The thing that gives me chills about it, though, is when Chucky turns around with the knife in his hand when he's out the box and just sees Andy with a shotgun. And then he gasps, and then Andy's like, play with this, and then shoots him. It's just great. Great to see Andy in the credits scene, because we haven't seen Andy since Child's Play 3. That's mental. So, yeah, great stuff. Great credit scene. Leads into the next one. Pretty great. So that's pretty much all the negatives I had with the film. Nothing major, just a few little nitpicks, things that just sort of frustrated me. But don't let that bother you. You should definitely go check out this film. I highly recommend it. And plus, it's got a banging theme tune. A lot of horror films just stick with the same theme tune every film, but not Chucky. They get creative. Sometimes the themes are good, sometimes they're bad, but mostly good. And so that's pretty much it for the review. I would give this film a B plus, you know, on the good chart. It's a great film, great watch. I definitely recommend watching it. And honestly, this is how I'm going to do my reviews from now on. I'm going to always give them scores, like, with the letter things. And I'm going to show you what I would rate all the other Chucky films I've reviewed so far with this new rating thing that I've got going. As you can see, I'm just clearing up my scores here, you know. Child's Play 1 and 2 got the same score, because to me, they're pretty much equally good. Child's Play 3 got a C, because, you know, it was pretty disappointing, you know. It could have been much better, but, you know, it was quite plain, you know, and just felt like a rehash of the first two. And I gave Bride of Chucky a B minus, because it's quite good, but it has quite a lot of bad moments, you know, like the doll sex scene that definitely holds it back. And Seed of Chucky just gets a D, honestly. I can't give it any better of a score than that, because honestly, the only reason I'm not making it lower, like D minus or even an F, is because, you know, it has its moments. Alright, it has its moments. So I'm pretty sure that's the end of the video, even though I always have a constant paranoia that I've missed something. Maybe I have, maybe I'll add it in, or maybe I'll just talk about it some other video that I make, possibly in a ranking video. But I just want to say to everyone, Happy New Year. I hope you all had a great Christmas and a Christmas holiday. Honestly, the holiday is the gift, not even the presents on Christmas. Even though I really did enjoy the Christmas holidays and Christmas. It was a fun time, lots of great presents, you know, and hopefully you had a great 2020. You probably didn't, no one did, but 2021 can hopefully be better. I'm hopefully going to be uploading way more than I did last year, you know, only 16 videos in a year. That's pathetic. Even War Machine has more videos, and that's our second channel. But no, honestly, for real, I am back, and I'm going to try and upload as much as I possibly can. Thank you for the support. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.